Hello, I'm Alisa Stovall, a consultant with the Indiana IEP Resource Center. I'm here at our 2017 Research to Practice Conference. With me now is Dora, one of our presenters. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
So we've had one day together, and you have been presenting on functional behavior assessments and areas with
high-functioning autism, Asperger's syndrome, supports in the classroom. Yes.
Well, we know that research guides what we do as educators. So based on some of the current research, can you describe some of the new and promising practices that can promote the success for all of our learners?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. One of the things that we're seeing an emergence of in the research that I think kind of really blends across all of our learners is the research that is coming out of the field of educational neuroscience. I think that that's a really important thing for us to understand and begin to gain a better understanding of what's going on in the brain of these learners, what's happening inside them electrically, chemically, and really beginning to bring those sciences together between behavior modification technique, autism spectrum disorder, and our special needs learners and our general education students that have significant behavioral challenges, anxiety, and the field of educational neuroscience is beginning to have a significant impact on schools and education. And this is a great time for that to happen because, I think we're getting better and better at applying really more intensive instructional strategies, behavioral and educational strategies to students with special needs. But we're finally beginning to see a bit of a disillusion of the segregation of special needs students versus general education students, special educators versus general educators. And we're starting to see sort of a synthesis of these are just kids. They're just learners. And I think the field of educational neuroscience is helping us to understand that all kids have brains, and all of these kids, their brain chemistry, their brain activity is having a significant impact on how they learn. It has a significant impact on how they behave and how they feel and emote in an educational environment. So I think that the research that's coming out of the educational neuroscience field is something that I think is really interesting as we begin to look at and understand the brain a little better of our learners and of our students with and without disabilities.
And so with the strategies that we're beginning to discover and develop, what we're really beginning to see is that what may be a crucial strategy for some learners is beneficial for others as well.
Absolutely. In the field of education, we've known for a long time that certain strategies that we do for students, for example, with anxiety disorders or emotional disabilities or autism spectrum disorders, that help those students to be able to better predict their environment, understand what's coming at them, and relate. We've known for a long time that is beneficial to all students. That's just something that all kids are going to benefit from. And so when we start to cross the bridge between let's just write this plan for this student, which we still need to do. We still have these students with significant needs that we need to do great functional behavior assessments on and behavior plans. But when we begin to look at that and say, can we take these strategies that help children help them process information more effectively and calm their central nervous system and be able to function in what may be a more chaotic environment for them, then we can start to lay those strategies over for all learners rather than just these two students in this class benefit from that strategy. We're finding educators really are saying, hey, this would be beneficial for a number of students in my class. And so that's another, I think, exciting thing is when we're starting to look at more universal implementation of strategies, MTSS, for example, looking at the data that's coming out of there and saying, we really need to be looking at about instructional and emotional strategies that are beneficial to all learners as opposed to just our special needs clients.
Well, that is some promising research, and thanks for taking the time to share some of
Great.
this with us.
Thanks.